glamour, fame, endless flashbulbs. Golden Age Hollywood looked flawless, but behind those glowing faces were habits so unhygienic they could make even die-hard fans flinch. Some of the most celebrated legends of cinema avoided soap, skipped showers, or drowned themselves in perfume to mask decay. From unwashed bed sheets to alcohol-soaked wardrobes, the truth behind the silver screen was often less silver, more grimy. Today, we reveal 14 beloved film icons whose hygiene was alarmingly bad, and wait until you hear about the final one. It's worse than anything you could imagine. Marlon Brando, the method actor who lived in a cloud of sweat and whiskey. Marlon Brando was an acting genius, but personal hygiene wasn't part of his method. Friends said his Beverly Hills home smelled of spilled liquor, stale food, and tobacco. He ate straight from the couch, letting crumbs dry onto his clothes, which he changed only when whiskey stains became too visible. During Apocalypse Now, 1979, Brando spent days secluded in a tent, unwashed and surrounded by rot, forcing the crew to use charcoal to purify the air. Maria Schneider, his last Tango in Paris co-star, often grew dizzy near him. Brando believed dirt made his performances real. To others, it was simply unbearable. Marilyn Monroe. Beauty, wrapped in perfume and unwashed sheets. She was the face of American allure. Yet behind the camera, Monroe's habits were far from glamorous. Her makeup artist revealed she slept in her full cosmetics and layers of lotion, rarely washing them off. Her signature scent, Chanel No. 5, mingled with body odor, powder, and old sweat until her bedroom became a fog of fragrance. Monroe often used a damp towel instead of a shower, claiming her natural aroma drew men in. Photographer Bert Stern said her apartment smelled so strongly of perfume he had to open every window. Even in death, her Brentwood home still carried her intoxicating, suffocating scent. Clark Gable, Hollywood's leading man with a legendary odor. Gable's charm was unmatched on screen, but his breath told another story. After severe gum infections in the 1930s, he lost most of his teeth and relied on dentures he refused to remove for cleaning. Food would rot inside them, creating a stench his co-stars couldn't bear. Vivian Leigh nearly gagged during their Gone with the Wind kiss scenes. MGM Studios resorted to mints and coffee beans on set just to mask the smell. Gable kept his suits immaculate and shaved daily, but that pristine exterior hid a secret that made his co-stars dread every close-up. Elizabeth Taylor, the perfume queen who shunned soap. Elizabeth Taylor was known for diamonds, violet eyes, and an obsession with perfume. What few realized is she nearly abandoned soap altogether. She believed bathing stripped away her natural allure, so she layered herself in luxury scents, jasmine, rose, and Chanel, every morning instead. By evening, perfume mixed with sweat and makeup into a cloying sweetness that could make a room spin. On the Cleopatra set, fans had to run non-stop to clear the air. Even at her funeral, mourners said her scent arrived before her casket. Taylor lived enveloped in fragrance, beauty sealed beneath layers that water rarely touched. Bette Davis, a human chimney cloaked in whiskey and smoke to many, Bette Davis was the image of strong-willed glamour. To those who worked with her, she smelled like an ashtray. She chain-smoked nearly 100 cigarettes daily and washed them down with whiskey, saturating her skin, hair, and clothes in nicotine and alcohol. Curtains in her dressing room yellowed, and smoke lingered so thick it clouded camera lenses. Her daughter recalled that every pillow, every dress, even her wigs, reeked of smoke. Davis's talent never faded, but neither did the smell of her addiction. When she died, cleaners said it took weeks to clear the scent from her home. Howard Hughes, the billionaire who drowned in his own fear. Howard Hughes's story is one of brilliance consumed by madness. After surviving a crash in 1946, he developed an extreme phobia of germs. Ironically, while ordering staff to scrub endlessly, he stopped bathing himself for months. Locked away in a dark hotel suite, he lived among jars of urine, greasy hair, and rotting food. The room reeked so badly that workers could only enter in short shifts. When he died in 1976, his emaciated body was covered in grime, nails curled, and the stench of decay so strong that medical examiners wore masks. The man obsessed with cleanliness died in filth. Cary Grant, Hollywood's lemon-scented oddity, dapper, witty, and effortlessly handsome. Cary Grant was nearly perfect, except for his strange bathing ritual. For decades, he refused to touch soap, cleansing only with lemon juice and cold water. Every morning, he would squeeze fresh lemons, rub the juice over his skin, and finish with cologne. The acid left marks on his bathroom floors. and the constant smell of citrus followed him everywhere. He believed lemons purified both body and spirit. His friends called his home the Citrus Palace. When he died, a small silver cup used for mixing lemon water sat untouched beside his mirror. His final ritual preserved. Joan Crawford, the queen of clean who took it too far. While others ignored hygiene, Joan Crawford worshipped it. Her mansion gleamed like a hospital. Sheets changed daily, doorknobs disinfected hourly, and guests forbidden to wear shoes indoors. Childhood poverty had made her obsessive. Her daughter remembered being woken at midnight to re-scrub a spotless bathroom. Crawford herself showered multiple times a day and sanitized film set chairs before sitting. Her home smelled sharply of alcohol and polish. Even her pets were wiped with disinfectant cloths. After her death, reporters said her apartment was so pristine it reflected light off the floors. Cleanliness turned into compulsion. Errol Flynn, the swashbuckler, who reeked of Errol Flynn's devil-may-care charm, thrilled audiences, but his hygiene matched his wild lifestyle. He drank constantly, rarely bathed, and covered the smell with cologne and cigarette smoke. His clothes were crumpled, his hair greasy, and his skin perpetually slick with alcohol. On the Robin Hood set, actors complained of dizziness from the fumes of rum and sweat that clung to him. At home, liquor bottles littered every surface, the floor sticky with spilled booze. In his final years, neighbors claimed they could smell him from the street. Flynn's legend endured, but so did the memory of his overpowering odor. Steve McQueen, the king of cool who smelled like a garage. Steve McQueen's passion for engines extended far beyond the racetrack. He spent his days tuning motorcycles and his nights skipping showers. The result? A permanent smell of oil, gasoline, and sweat. He'd wipe down with a rag, splash on Old Spice, and call it good. On the set of Bullitt, the interiors of cars had to be deodorized daily after his scenes. At home, he even parked motorcycles inside his bedroom, leaving oil stains on walls and carpets. When McQueen died, the scent of leather and fuel lingered in his house, a reminder that cool sometimes came with an exhaust leak. Gary Cooper, the gentleman with a not-so-gentle breath, graceful, polite, and handsome, Gary Cooper seemed flawless until he opened his mouth. Terrified that brushing would damage his gums, he never cleaned his teeth properly. Instead, he'd rinse with coffee or mints, which only worsened the odor. Co-stars like Marlene Dietrich dreaded intimate scenes. Technicians kept coffee beans on set to absorb the air. Despite the smell, Cooper remained meticulously dressed and composed, a paradox of elegance and decay. His charm carried him through, but behind that winning smile was a cloud of stale coffee, cigarettes, and neglect that few could stand for long. Actor. Steeped in whiskey and sweat, Spencer Tracy's performances were electric, but so was the smell that followed him. He drank bourbon like water and rarely bathed, letting alcohol seep through his pores. His suit smelled of liquor even after dry cleaning, and studios had to install fans during filming to thin the air. At home, glasses and bottles covered every surface, and cleaning staff wore masks against the fumes. Katharine Hepburn once said he smelled of sadness and whiskey, an aroma she could never forget. Tracy's genius outshone his hygiene, but his presence, powerful and pungent, left a mark no one could ignore. W.C. Fields, the man who practically sweated gin. Comedian W.C. Fields was a master of wit and a disaster of hygiene. He began drinking before breakfast and kept the bottle close until night. Bathing, however, was optional. His skin was flushed from constant intoxication, his hair sticky, his clothes soaked with the smell of liquor. People joked you could get tipsy just standing next to him. On set, furniture absorbed the odor so badly it had to be replaced. At home, every drawer hid a bottle, and the air was thick with sweat and alcohol. When he died, the hospital had to disinfect his room repeatedly. Fields didn't just drink, he exuded it. And there you have it. 14 of Hollywood's most dazzling stars who proved that beauty lights up a screen, but cleanliness doesn't always follow fame. Whether it was perfume in place of showers or whiskey instead of water, these icons showed that even legends had very human flaws. So, which of these stories shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold truths from behind the golden curtain of classic Hollywood.